20 seconds. That's how long the captain of a U.S. aircraft carrier has to make a decision when 1,000 drones appear on radar. 20 seconds to launch jets that can't all get airborne in time. 20 seconds to protect 5,000 sailors and 200 sailors on an exposed steel deck. 20 seconds to fire missiles that cost 100 times more than what they're shooting at. Do you think a swarm is just a lot of drones? It's not. It's a single weapon with 1,000 bodies. Here's how it actually works. Each drone runs a mesh network protocol, usually a low-latency radio link operating in the 900 megahertz or 2.4 gigahertz band. They don't need a ground controller. They talk to each other directly. One drone spots the target. Within 20 to 50 milliseconds, the other 999 know. This is called decentralized swarm intelligence. No leader, no single point of failure. Shoot down 200 drones, the remaining 800 instantly reassign targets and close the gaps. The brains are tiny. A modern attack drone runs on a chip the size of a coin, usually an ARM Cortex processor pulling less than 5 watts. Onboard AI handles target recognition, collision avoidance, and terminal guidance. And the hardware is dirt cheap. The Shahed 136, the most common attack drone deployed today, costs $20,000 to $50,000 per unit. It carries a 50-kilogram warhead, cruises at 185 kilometers per hour. Range, 2,500 kilometers. Now here's the part that breaks naval planners. To shoot one down, the U.S. Navy fires a Standard Missile-2 interceptor at $2.1 million per shot. That's a 105-to-1 cost imbalance. The drone wins even when it dies. Now multiply that by 1,000. 1,000 drones, 1,000 decisions, 1,000 cheap weapons aimed at the most expensive warship ever built. But forget this for a second. There's a bigger problem standing right on that deck. 200 of them, actually. The deck crew, a Nimitz-class flight deck, runs with around 200 personnel actively working on top of it during launch operations, 200 human beings standing on exposed steel with nowhere to hide. These aren't random sailors. They're trained specialists in color-coded jerseys. Every one of them works within feet of jet intakes powerful enough to suck a person in whole. The noise alone is brutal. 140 decibels, louder than a gunshot, every few seconds for hours. Now look up. There's nothing there. No roof, no overhead cover, no armor, just sky. The flight deck of a Nimitz-class carrier is 4.5 acres of completely exposed steel, and a single drone carries roughly 50 kilograms of high explosive. One drone hitting that deck doesn't just kill the people in the blast radius, it craters the steel. It ignites fuel lines. It sets off ordnance staged for the next launch. We've seen this before. The 1967 USS Forrestal fire. One accidental rocket launch killed 134 sailors and took the ship out of action for months. That was one accident, one spark. So is there something sitting on the carrier to stop them? You'd think a lot. The truth is stranger. The carrier's defenses, a U.S. aircraft carrier, never sails alone. It moves with an entire fleet around it. Destroyers, cruisers, submarines, a wall of steel and missiles. So let's break the wall down, layer by layer. The outermost layer is the carrier's own air wing. That's around 60 F/A-18 Super Hornets, each carrying air-to-air missiles like the AIM-120. One missile costs about $1 million. Then comes the middle layer, the escort destroyers. A typical carrier strike group rolls with 3 to 5 of them, and each one carries 96 vertical launch system cells. Not all of those are anti-air, but realistically, you're looking at 60 to 80 anti-air missiles per destroyer. Closer in, you have the rolling airframe missile system. Each launcher holds 21 missiles. Each missile costs roughly $950,000. And when everything else fails, you have the Phalanx CIWS, a 20-millimeter Gatling gun that fires 4,500 rounds per minute. Its effective range? Just 1.5 kilometers. That's the last line. Now let's count the bullets. If we add every anti-air missile across the entire carrier strike group, the realistic total comes out to around 400 to 500 interceptors. 400, maybe 500, against 1,000 incoming drones. But the part that should really worry the admirals is that launching those jets that defend the carrier might be impossible. What? Can the jets even launch? This is something that everyone gets wrong. When people imagine a swarm attack, they picture jets roaring off the deck to intercept. Mission accomplished. Threat neutralized. That's a fantasy. A Nimitz-class carrier has 4 steam catapults. Under optimal conditions, it launches 1 aircraft every 20 to 25 seconds. That works out to about 4 jets per minute, or roughly 240 sorties in a full 24-hour surge cycle. Now, when a swarm of Shahed-class drones cruises at 185 kilometers per hour, that's about 3 kilometers per minute. Realistic detection range against low-flying drones, given the radar horizon at sea, is around 50 kilometers. Do the math. The carrier has roughly 16 minutes from detection to impact. 16 minutes. In that window, even with everything going perfectly, the carrier can launch maybe 40 to 60 jets. And that's the optimistic number. Still, each of those jets carries about 8 air-to-air missiles. 60 jets times 8 missiles equals 480 shots. Still less than 1,000. Plus, the jets need clear deck space to launch. They need clear airspace to climb. The moment drones are inbound, the entire launch envelope collapses. Catapult crews can't safely operate under threat of imminent strike. Ordnance handlers can't stage missiles fast enough. So the air wing can't save the carrier. The math simply doesn't work. The Navy doesn't want to talk about the math of how many actually get through. Why 1,000 is the magic number? Every defense system has a limit, not a range limit, an engagement limit. How many things can it shoot at the same time? Aegis can track over 100 targets, but it can only actively engage a few dozen at once. Then there's phalanx, the last line of defense. The Gatling gun, which fires 4,500 rounds per minute, but it can only engage 1 drone at a time. Each kill takes 3 to 5 seconds. So if 50 drones arrive at the inner ring simultaneously, phalanx stops maybe 8 to 10 before impact. Now stack the costs. A full swarm of 1,000 drones costs roughly $20 to $50 million. The carrier costs $13 billion. A single FA-18 pilot costs around $11 million to train. Even if the carrier's defenses work at 95% efficiency, incredible odds, that still means 50 drones get through. That's a mission kill. This is not just theory, it's already happening in the Red Sea. Future outlook. Look at the Red Sea. Since 2023, U.S. destroyers have been fighting Houthi drones almost daily. The results are eye-opening. American warships have fired over 100 SM-2 and SM-6 interceptors, burning through close to $1 billion in missiles. The Houthis? Their drones cost them maybe $10 million total. That's a 100-to-1 cost imbalance in favor of the attacker. Then look at Ukraine. Russia has launched swarms of over 100 Shahed drones in a single night. Ukrainian intercept rates are impressive, 80 to 90%. But that remaining 10% still flattens apartment blocks. The U.S. Navy knows. That's why they're rushing to deploy laser weapons that fire at roughly $1 to $13 per shot. Sounds like the answer. Except that current lasers can only kill 1 drone at a time and need 2 to 6 seconds per kill. Meanwhile, China is reportedly testing swarms of over 2,000 drones in coordinated exercises. 2,000, double the scenario we just walked through. The carrier is doing what it's done for 80 years, projecting power, launching jets, dominating the horizon, and in the blink of an eye, then the radar lights up, not with 1, with 1,000. There's no time to call Washington, no time to scramble the air wing, no time to do anything except watch the most expensive weapon in human history was outmaneuvered by something that costs less than a refrigerator.